Hey kids, another video on naming and formulas. This time we're going to talk about Romans. Who better fitting to talk about Romans than the founder of the Roman Empire, Augustus. Now, we're going to use Roman numerals when our formula starts with an element that is a transition metal, or if our element is an intertransition metal. All right, the formula starts with one of these. That includes underneath the stair step. And what we're going to do is the Roman numeral is going to tell us the charge on the transition metal here, because transition metals can have lots of multiple charges. So we have a compound that's CO, cobalt, and we have 3 chlorines with that. What we have to do is use the formula to find out what the charge on cobalt could be. So I simply take this 3, I'm going to reverse it, bring it up here. That must be the charge on cobalt. And we're going to write cobalt 3, and then we're going to finish that up with chlorine. It's chlorine by itself. It's in a formula, monatomic anion. That ends in IDE. Cobalt 3 chloride. That's our first example. Now, what if it doesn't end in a monatomic anion? It has one of our polyatomic ions. Here's an example of Fe2SO4 parentheses 3. Looks a lot more complicated, really isn't more difficult. Let's start with Fe. We know that that's iron, but iron is a transition metal. We don't know the charge on it. So what we have to do is use the parentheses, take that 3 again, bring it on up. We're going to have another 3, iron 3. What about our ending, though? SO4. That's a polyatomic ion. Kids, memorize your polyatomic ions. You must know those backwards, forwards, inside out, and right side up. That SO4 is a sulfate ion. I'm going to write sulfate. Now, a lot of you are thinking, hey, does this always end in a Roman numeral 3, or could I have something different? Well, sure, you could have something different. Let's grab vanadium off the shelf, and we're going to put that with a couple of nitrates. Once again, take that subscript, bring it on up, use it as a charge. Vanadium here is going to be vanadium plus 2. So let's write that vanadium plus 2. We don't have to say that it's plus 2 in the Roman numeral. These Roman numerals always represent the positive ion. Then I just have to have memorized that NO3 is going to be a nitrate. Now, sometimes these can get really tricky. You have to watch some of these subscripts. Here's an example where I've got molybdenum, MO2SO4, 4, rut row. I can't have that. I've got to reduce it down. Now, here's my formula. I know MO is molybdenum. But I need to find the charge. What I want to say is, oh, well, it must be 2. But be careful. SO4 is a minus 2. There are 2 minus 2s, so that molybdenum has to be plus 4. Watch your charges. These compounds have to be neutral, always. So I need molybdenum 4, and I follow that up with what I've got, which is a sulfate. Hopefully this isn't too confusing. We're just trying to get our charges to balance and represent what the charge is on our transition metal. I'm Smath. This is how you name Romans, transition metals, and compounds. I hope this video helps.